welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hey, how you doing? My name is Ash. I am a makeup artist and a book lover, and today's video is going to be a review video of a new makeup collection that Lottie London sent me, which would be the Harley Quinn collection. Lottie London was kind enough to send this to me, but this isn't sponsored. I don't even think they expected me to make a video, but I saw this, wanted to make a video. I did 2 looks. My eyes are irritated. Let's get into the products. So before I jump into the products, I am looking on their website, and it appears that there are a few items in this collection that I did not get, which are just variations of 2 of the products. So there are 2 transforming liquid lipsticks. I got the Wanted shade, and there are 2 color changing lip oils. I got the black one, not the pink one. They do have a bundle on their website. It's a 5-piece collection bundle, which includes the 2 palettes, the jumbo eye pencil, the highlighter, and the primer. Otherwise, you'd have to buy everything else individually, which Lottie London appears to not be too expensive, so that's nice. I didn't realize that they were so cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the products, and then my review is actually gonna be at the end. So make sure you stay until the end, because you're gonna hear my thoughts as I do my makeup twice, because I do 2 looks, and then I'll get my final thoughts at the end. But first up is the Craze Hydrating Primer. This is a red tinted primer that is quite liquidy, quite light. I'll be honest, you'll hear me talk about this throughout the video, but I actually really like this. This might be my favorite thing in this collection. And this one retails for $10.99. And then there is the Harley Quinn Color Changing Blending Sponge. This is 100% vegan makeup sponge. It is shaped like a diamond. It is very squishy. I like that aspect of it. And it retails for $7.99. The Jester's Rules highlighter is a really sparkly gold toned highlighter. If you like glittery highlighters, you are gonna love this. I would say skip it if you just can't stand glitter. You do get glitter a little bit everywhere, but this is so pretty on. I do have it on my cheek, and it is just so stunning, and that retails for $8.99. I received 2 of the lip products. The first one is the Pudding pH Color Changing Lip Oil in Sheer Black. This is a rollerball, and it turns into a deep pink shade, and it retails for $7.99. And then there is another one, which is a sheer pink shade. And then there is the Glitter Switch lipstick in the shade Wanted. This is a really pretty like mauvey pink color, and this one does have a glitter transformation once you smack your lips together and the glitter is supposed to appear. But this is a really pretty color. It retails for $7.99, and the other shade is Killing It, which is a more like berry red color. Next up is the Smoky Eyes Black Hole Eyeliner Pencil. This is a jumbo eyeliner that is very reminiscent of the NYX jumbo eye pencils. This one is very creamy, and I didn't realize this when I did my swatches, that this actually rotates up and down, so it is retractable, so you don't have to worry about sharpening it. And if I didn't say, that is $8.99. And you have the Jumbo Heart Stamp Liner. This is a dual-ended wing eyeliner pen. One side has the heart stamp, and the other side has a felt tip liner, which is actually bigger than what I'm used to. But this is super black, and I will say that the stamps pretty well, and that retails for $7.99. And then there are 2 different eyeshadow palettes. They are in these triangle shapes, which I think is actually pretty cute. The first one is called Toxic Love, and it is more of a neutral with pops of red and really pretty shimmers. I will say that these palettes did not swatch the best. And then you have the second palette, which is Pouts and Pigtails. This one is a little bit more colorful. You have this beautiful pop of blue, which I will be honest, you will hear me talk about this blue throughout this video. It is a standout color, one of the standout shades and formulas. You will hear my full thoughts about these palettes at the end, but you'll also hear me kind of complain about them throughout the video. So I do try out both of these palettes. I actually used them at the same time because I was just pulling shades from both, and I did end up doing 2 looks with this collection. The first look, it's a little intense. The second look, which is this look, a little bit better. But I do talk about these palettes and how they perform as I do my makeup, so I'll have that and my full review at the end. But for the most part, that is the entire collection. So I'm gonna just go ahead and jump right into doing the first look, and then the second look, you'll get my review at the end. So just stay tuned for the wild ride that this whole video is, because it's a lot. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to try out this primer first. So this is the Craze Hydrating Primer. I didn't even swatch this yet, so I'm hoping that it works okay. My face is washed and clean and everything, so I don't want to put this directly on my face. I'm just gonna do about a full thing of it. It's very liquidy, doesn't really have too much of a scent, but it does have like a red color to it. Interesting. Feels almost like an oil that I'm putting on my face. I might have put a little bit too much on. I think maybe you need like half a dropper full of that. Alright, so I'm gonna let this sink in for a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and prep my sponge because this collection came with a sponge, which is the Daring Diamond sponge. So I actually need to go wet this, but this is what it looks like. It is pretty tiny. Alright, and this is it fully wet. I'd say it did get a little bit bigger, not like extraordinarily big. Alright, I will say it's been like 2 minutes. I think that the primer is set in well enough, so I'm gonna go in with my foundation. So I'll be using the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. I've been trying this lately and I've been absolutely loving it. I'm gonna go right in with this and then I'll apply the rest of my makeup, but we'll just see how this works with this primer underneath. I haven't had any issues with this foundation. I've been wearing it for quite a few days now, and if there's any issue with it, I'll know that it's this, not the foundation, because this foundation, so good. But anyway, I'm gonna try out this sponge. I kind of don't like the shape of it. I really prefer just sponges like this with a flat edge, shaped like this. That's just like my preferred style, or the traditional like beauty blender size. But we'll see how this one does. I mean, it's easy to grip, so I don't think I'll absolutely hate it. It's just not one that I see myself wanting to pick up at the store. Okay, I will say that this worked better than I thought it would. I feel like it didn't soak up too much of my foundation, so I'm happy with that. While we're here together, there is a lip oil. It's the Pudding Rollerball pH Color Changing Lip Oil. And I love that it's a black shade, so I'm just gonna apply this. You'll see it changed a little bit of color. This does have a scent to it, but what is that scent? I do not know. Yeah, it's like super pink on me. And I'm just applying that super messily. I really don't like rollerballs, especially if it's gonna be like a color. If it's clear, I'm fine with it, but it's just so messy. There's that color from black to this pink. Obviously this is gonna look a little bit different on everybody because it goes with your pH, but it's gonna be some form of a pink shade. Alright, I'm gonna just quickly do my creams and I'll come back to show you how this works with concealer. I feel like it'll work perfectly fine because you have such a fine point, but it might be a little finicky, so we'll see. Alright, so for my concealer, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Future Fluid one. I'm only going to use a little bit of it because I haven't been needing to use a ton of concealer lately. So that's been fun. And let's see how this works with this concealer. I feel like we don't need this much of a point, but it does help get right up in there, which I'm not mad at. So I think I've come to a conclusion with this sponge. I think I do like it. What I'm going to do now is apply the rest of my makeup except for highlighter, because there is a highlighter in this collection, and then like the star of it is all the eye products, and there is one more lip product, but so far I don't see any issue with this primer, so I'm happy with that. And just right off the bat, I don't know if I like this. It has a scent to it and I can't figure out what it is. I'm gonna have my husband smell it. He might be able to pick out what the scent is, but like it's bothering me. I don't know if it's like tickling the back of my throat, but I'm just not into it, and I don't like the color of this on my lips. I might feel different if I had a bunch of other makeup on, but I just don't think this color's for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up that makeup, do my brows, because I think that's also throwing me off, is I need to do my brows, and I'll be back to do the highlighter and the eyes, so be right back. Base makeup is on. I really like this. I think this primer is actually really good. I'm really into it, so I'm going to continue to use this, and I'm going to try out the highlighter, but first I want to talk about this. I did have my husband smell this, and he said that it smells like a really crappy Halloween candy. I think he's right. It smells like a very nostalgic Halloween candy. He said like something like maybe an hour later, which I kind of get that. I don't like it. I don't like it. The color's growing on me, especially with all the makeup on. I don't think I could just be like bare face, brows in this, and be good for the day. No, I need something else with this. I am gonna wipe off the excess, and it does stain a little bit, so I'm not too upset with that, but I'm gonna try out the Jester Jewel highlighter. This does seem very glittery. I'm hoping that it doesn't pull too dark on me, and I'm just gonna use a highlighting brush. I didn't set my face yet, so let's just, oh yeah, that is super glittery, but I'm into it. Ooh, sometimes you just need a really glittery highlighter, and that is stunning. I don't think it pulls too dark on me. I think it has a sheer enough base to where it just meshes with my face okay. So I think I really like this. I will say I don't think it's going to be for everybody since it is super glittery, but I think I really like this. So I'm just going to quickly set my face, and then I'll zoom you in to start the eye portion, which is exciting because I'm going to try to do both of these. So I'm going to be using my Anastasia eye primer, my go-to eye primer whenever I am trying new makeup or just makeup in general, because it is the best eye primer ever. Stand by that. Best eye primer ever. But there is the Toxic Love palette and the Pouts and Pigtails palette, which I don't know exactly what I want to do. I'll be honest, when I swatched these, some of these shades did not swatch the best. It seems like there's a little bit of a mix of quality in the shadows, so we'll see how they perform on the eyes. As of right now, just from the swatches that I did, I'm not overly impressed with like half of these shadows. I think I'm going to start a little bit backwards though. I know I already primed my eyes. I'm going to start with the Jumbo Eye Pencil. I think it's just called a Jumbo Eye Pencil. I didn't realize this when I did my swatch that it is retractable. Love that. I am going to go for a very smoky look, I think. So I'm going to heavily put this on my lower lash line. And right there. It's going to look worse before it looks better. Hopefully. But also, if you already have small eyes, don't do this. See how small my eye looks? Crazy. I'm just going to take like a flat brush. It's not the best brush for this, but I'm just going to very messily just blend this, and then we'll try some shadows just to really just make this pop. I kind of want to play on this collection being Harley Quinn, doing like an inspired look. That looks absolutely insane, but sometimes it works to just take your fingers and just rub it out. And then it gets really messy, but that's what makeup wipes are for. So I think I'm going to start with the Toxic Love palette, and I'm going to go into a little bit of Gotham Glam just to blend this out a little bit and to set this black. This didn't swatch the greatest, so I don't have the highest of hopes for it. I'm going to go in with a Lunar Beauty 2 brush. I'm hoping that it just swatched bad and that it applies decently, or at least decently enough to set this cream. Which I think it's doing a good job. I think it's a shadow that definitely needs a darker base underneath to work well. I think it works out. I'm also just going to take this underneath and really kind of just smooth out what I did. It doesn't look very clean, but this isn't going to be a clean look. Right off the bat, you can tell this is not going to be a clean look. Now, I think I'm going to go into the shade here, Mischief. It's one of the only red shades. I feel like since they did a really nice blue in this one, they should have done a similar red in this one. I think that would have been like really cool. I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to do a little bit of red on this side and a little bit of blue on this side. And this is a shimmer, and I am going in with a Morphe R37 brush. This also did not swatch very good, like at all. I'm going to messily put this right above. Okay, that is applying better than it swatched. It's still not like the greatest, but I'm not mad at it. Very grungy. I'm gonna go back into that brush that I had with the black and just kind of blend where I got that red a little bit too low. But so far so good. So now I'm gonna dip into Pouts and Pigtails and then go into this blue. This blue is very pigmented. It's a much different formula than that red shade, and I don't think this one's as shimmery, but I'm just gonna pick up just a little bit of it to start with and then just sweep that right in there. You know what? It's pulling a little bit shimmery, but you see that is just such a pretty blue. This blue is definitely one of the standout shades in this collection. It is just so pretty and so pigmented. While I'm here, I'm gonna take the same brush and bring the blue underneath and kind of round it out. Obviously this still looks a little crazy, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it. Now I'm gonna go back into Mischief. I might pop into Giggles and Glitter because that looks like it'll be a similar red. I'm gonna also sweep this underneath and around. But yeah, this is gonna be a super grungy look. This side looks a little bit better than this side. So I'm gonna take just another Morphe brush. This is an M513. I'm gonna go into the Giggles and Glitter shade and see. Yeah, this one might pull a little bit more brown. And you know what? It has a little bit better color. I'm getting so much fallout. Oh my god. I just wish there was a brighter red in this palette. Side note though, I will say these palettes are good to do your eyes first and then your base. I'm gonna go back into that black shade and just kind of reblend on the eyes. I'm gonna take the eye pencil and my waterline. I'm gonna take a pause. As of now, I'm gonna go into the liquid liner. So this is double-sided with a liner and a heart stamp. I think I want to do a heart stamp there. I'll do it on this side. So I'm just doing a line at my lash line because I am going to wear lashes with this. This is a look that just absolutely calls for lashes. And then let's do the triangle point. So, not really points, just like lines. So, I'm going to very carefully do a line down right in the center of my eye. And I'm going to follow the same line above. I messed up a little bit there, but it's going to go above my brow a little bit. Right onto the lid also. So in the Pouts and Pigtails palette, there is the Haha highlight. I'm going to put that on my inner corner and try to clean up where the black went a little too much. I just have a Morphe & Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush. But this one is a really pretty shade. I really like this one. It almost looks a little silver since I had so much black down. I'm gonna take a little bit of that on my brow bone. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna make like a small wing. Small-ish wing, I guess. I know I'm definitely gonna play with these palettes again. So you know what? I'm making the executive decision that this is look 1. I'm gonna do a second look tomorrow before I go to work, and I'm gonna make it wearable. Not that this isn't wearable if you feel like it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna just kind of do like these little motions under my eye. I'm gonna definitely do like mascara smudges also, just to intensify the messiness of this. But my battery's gonna die, so before it dies I'm gonna do this lipstick really quick and I'll just go finish up the rest of my eyes. This is the Glitter Switch Transformative Liquid Lipstick in Wanted. So you're supposed to put this on, let it dry for like a minute, and rub your lips together, and it's glittery. So we'll see if that works. All the oil is off of my lips, so it's just stained. But this is actually a pretty color, and this smells like vanilla buttercream. I love it. Alright, so I'm gonna let this dry for like a minute, and then I'll rub my lips together. Okay, I think this is dry. So we'll see. It's supposed to be a glitter flip, so there is glitter. I don't know if you can see it. I don't like when lipstick is sticky, and this is very sticky, but I am going to deal with it. I'm gonna go switch out my battery, finish up my makeup, and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. But don't worry, I'm gonna do a different, more wearable look. Don't worry. Alright, and here is the finished look. I don't know how I feel about it. Seems a little crazy, but I think it works. So all that I did to finish up my eyes was I went in with my Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes mascara, and I went in with the Hostel Honey lashes from Likely Makeup. Not that you can really see the lashes, but it's better than just mascara. So this is the first look trying this collection out. I will be filming a second look. I'm going to be doing the exact same base makeup, so you're only going to see in part 2 the eye portion, but all the base makeup is going to be exactly the same. So yeah, I will say I like the color of this lipstick, but I don't like the feel of it. It's a pretty color though, and I don't like the smell of this, but the color eventually grew on me, so it is what it is. So let me know what you think about this look, and let's just go ahead and get started with like the more normal makeup look. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with the second look, and my eyes are already primed with my Anastasia eye primer, so I don't have to worry about doing that on camera. And the little bit of an elephant in the room is, yes, this eye is like super watery, so it looks a little funny. I think for the most part the watering has stopped, but nothing's really sticking there, so I'm gonna have to fix that towards the end. I have a little bit of a fix for it. It just is gonna derail my plans for this look just a smidge. So I'm gonna be using both of these palettes again. My base makeup is the exact same as the first look, so let's just jump into it. Start with the Toxic Love palette, and I'm gonna go into the shade here called Vixen. And I didn't turn on my light. Better. So Vixen, and I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M332. I'm just gonna work this into my crease. These shades are pretty powdery, but most of them are pigmented, so I'm not too upset about the powderiness of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna use this shade as just a nice transition shade because it's not really showing up. So I'm going to just, I guess, move over. I use the same brush. I'm gonna go into the shade here called Riot Rouge or Riot Rogue. How do you know when it's supposed to be Rouge or Rogue? Whatever. So this is one of the more pigmented shades, and I'm going to focus this just also right in the crease, not taking it too high up, but you can see so much more pigment than that first shade. It's definitely not the bright brush for this, but I am running low on my brushes. So this is just a clean brush. I'm going to use that to just kind of diffuse this top. I brought it a little bit too high. I mean, it's a pretty shade. It is a little patchy in spots. It could be patchy on this side because of my watery eye. I'm not going to knock the shade too much because I'm having eye issues. My eye's watering. I shouldn't be filming, but this is like my last video I need to film for September before I have to start really prepping for Halloween, and I just wanted to get it done. I'm going to take that brush that doesn't have any product and go back into Vixen and just kind of soften this up here, which that's helping. And my eye is back to being watery again. Love it. Love it. I'm going to take the B3 from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and I'm going to go into the Gotham Glam shade. I'm just going to use a tad bit of this. This isn't very pigmented. I just want it just a little bit on the corner here. I don't love that. In the first look, I obviously went a little extreme, and I used this shade on top of this stick, and it seemed to work okay, but just by itself on just eye primer, I don't really love it. Alright, so I'm going to switch to the other palette, Pouts and Pigtails, and I'm going to go into Queen of Chaos. It's a really pretty purple shade, and this is just a dome blending brush from Shayna B. I'm going to load that up. This is one of the more pigmented shades. I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. I'm trying to use shades I haven't used yet. I know there's a lot of shimmers in here, and I didn't use a ton of them, but I do like this purple shade. It is very light. Not the best shade for my lower lash line. Also going to take a little bit of that and kind of sweep it just right in here. I swear this shade swatched a lot better than it's performing on the eyes. Just going in with my finger. Like that seems to be giving a little bit more payoff. But like a shade like this, I shouldn't have to use my finger with it. I'm just gonna just intensify down here. Yeah, I'm really not liking that black shade on the outer corner. Not loving that at all. So I'm gonna go back into the other palettes and just go back into the Riot Rouge Rogue whatever. And this is just an Eloise brush. I'm just gonna kind of just go over where I had that black. Yeah, that's a little bit better, but it's not the greatest. I'm just gonna work on kind of blending this a little bit higher. I'm gonna go back into Vixen just to blend kind of right here. I think the universe is trying to tell me I shouldn't be filming at night. I'm gonna use Haha Highlight again on my brow bone. I used this in the first look. This is one of the better shades in this palette. Like that is just such a pretty shimmery white shade. I love that one. Also gonna pop it on my inner corner. Oh, and this is an e.l.f. brush from like their Mint collection. I swear I just need to re-declutter all of my eyeliners because I can never find the one that I use. I'm gonna go with my e.l.f. No Budge retractable liner. This works when I have a watery eye because it just kind of sticks because it is no budge. And it really doesn't budge. So I'm gonna just run this first in this eye, and then I'm gonna dry this eye a little bit. This little trick is failing me tonight. Usually I can just like fill in where this is and like it works. It's not working tonight. I'm just gonna power through it. Just gonna power through it. I will make it work. If it takes me to midnight, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna go into the Joker's Jewel from the Toxic Love palette. I'm just gonna take that on my finger. This is one of the more promising shades in here. I'm just gonna, I guess, add that all over. Mainly in the center and just spread it out. That one is definitely one of the better shades. I think my big takeaway from this is I'm just disappointed in the quality of these palettes. I had high hopes. I had high hopes because I have tried palettes from Lottie London in the past and I really liked them. This just wasn't doing it for me. I didn't want to use this blue, but I'm gonna pat it on the outer corner. Maybe, just maybe, that will stick. I'll say. This palette is worth it for this blue and this white. Like, it's stunning. Like, everything else is just kind of meh. Hate to say it, it's kind of meh. I'm gonna go in with the liquid liner and just do like a small wing. This isn't a bad eyeliner. I do actually quite like it. You know what I think would look kind of good? If I just drag the blue down. Say like, don't tell me this eye's gonna start watering too, mother. Yeah, just a little bit of a drag down, which kind of works because it got a little wet, so it just looks a little bit okay. Am I turning this around? I think I am. Love that for me. I'm gonna go into the shade here, which is Glitter Squad, and I'm just gonna take that on my finger and just add it right in here, because why not potentially make my eyes more irritated. I do promise it's not the palette that is irritating my eyes. I think it's because I took off my makeup earlier to film this and it's just getting to me. Yeah, I definitely don't love what I have going on. It's okay. I actually kind of like the little blue smudges. I kind of want to do a little bit more. I feel like that's overboard. Also, this blue is just so pretty. I do just like right in the center, just a little drag. I kind of like that. That was a mistake, but it's one I can live with. Don't love what I just did. Blend it away just a little bit. If I have to do mascara smudges, I'll do mascara smudges. It kind of has a nice effect to it. Okay, I am going to do, with this jumbo liner, and do just a little baby black triangle. And I'm gonna do something here. Should I do the heart stamp? Oh yeah, sure, I'll do the heart stamp. I'll do another heart stamp there. Definitely not the same angle. Kind of cute. Okay, it's coming together. It's coming together. I am going to put on this rollerball for my lipstick because I do not want to deal with this. I just didn't really like the feel of it. And this one, the color grew on me. still don't like the smell of it. It is what it is. So I'm gonna just hop off and do a little bit of zhuzhing, trying to make this a little bit better. I'll probably add some embellishments, but I will say adding a little bit more makes it more bearable. So I'm gonna just go do that, and I'll be back to show you the finished look and to give you my final thoughts about this collection, because ooh, do I have some thoughts. Alright, and here is the finished look. So all I did to finish out this look was just really pack on the blue on the corner. Did mascara smudges with my Rare Beauty mascara, and then my lashes are the Teddy lashes from Kiss. Is it perfect? Not at all. Are both eyes watering? Yes, yes they are. But this is the second look. I don't actually hate how this looks. If my eyes weren't watering, I would really enjoy this look. My watery eyes kind of ruin everything. So apart from the watery eyes, let me know what you think about this look, and let's just get into me talking about this collection as a whole, because thoughts. Let's start with the Crimson Craze Hydrating Primer. I actually really like this. Granted, I have only tried this 2 times, but so far I'm very, very impressed with it. And then the second time I tried this, I did use a little bit less than the first time, and it worked a lot better. Not that I used too much and it like screwed up with my foundation, but a little bit goes a long way with this. I can see myself using this up completely. The Jester Jewels highlighter, I actually quite like this. I will say, surprisingly, it looks like it would be too dark on me because some like goldish highlighters just turn too dark on me, but this one actually is just really pretty, and it's more glitter than anything. So it's like a hint of gold, but it's mainly just glitter. So if you're someone that absolutely hates glittery highlights, do not get this. But if you love it, you're gonna love it. For lips, I have pros and cons to both. I actually really like the color of this once I have all my makeup on. If I just wear this without any base makeup on, I hate the way that it looks. This does kind of leave a little bit of a stain behind, and I really enjoy that because it's comfortable. Like, this is actually a really comfortable lip oil. So I like that aspect of it. I really don't like the smell, and I don't really like that it's a rollerball application. This almost changes color instantly, so you have to be really careful where you're applying it, because if you get it anywhere outside of your lip line, it does look messy. I really don't like the smell of this. And as for the Wanted glitter switch, I actually really love the color on this. I don't like how sticky it feels though. I will say it does dry down and it does get less sticky the longer you wear it, but it's just the initial stickiness just really turns me off, and I understand it has to be sticky because it's a glitter flip, but I also feel like there wasn't a ton of glitter flip action. Granted, this is really one of my first times trying a product like this, so I could have been not doing it correctly. So I do like this for the color, but I don't necessarily love it for the glitter effect or really the feel of it. Completely forgot about the sponge. I actually really like the sponge. I do think that it is a little small because if you're using this for the foundation, you have just this little area to really just pounce it all over your face, because I don't know, are you going to be using the sides? Whatever. So it takes a little bit longer to really blend out your makeup, but that's not a horrible thing. It's just something I'm going to point out. Like I said, I do prefer like bigger sponges, but this one, it's nice, and it's actually really soft and it's fun to squish. As for 2 of the eye pencils, so you have the Jumbo Eye Pencil. I'll say this is close to the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, but this seems a little bit more creamy. I have had issues in the past where the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils are just really dry right out of like opening them, and this one is just really creamy and really easy to blend out. I can see myself reaching for this, especially going into the Halloween season. I think this is going to come in handy. And as for the Jumbo Heart Stamp and Eyeliner Duo, I actually really like this. I do feel like the heart side is a tad bit too big, but I think that's just because I'm used to like the stamps from Milk Makeup and Colourpop. Those are a little bit smaller, but this one, it's cute. As for the liquid liner side, I typically do not go for eyeliners like this, especially being so jumbo, because I tend to make a lot of mistakes with my eyeliner, and the bigger the component is, the more likely I'm gonna make a mistake. But surprisingly, this is very smooth. It doesn't tug. I actually really like how it just glides on the eye. It's actually pretty easy to make a wing with this, and I'm happy with this. And I gotta say, the most disappointing thing in this collection is gonna be the palettes. I thought for sure that I was gonna love Toxic Love the most, because this just looks like such a perfect fall palette. My issue with it is so hit or miss with the shades. I thought that, yeah, sure, the swatches may be a little bad, but they're gonna apply better on the eyes. That wasn't really the case for some of these shades. Riot Rouge is one of the most pigmented shades in this palette, and I like how it looks on the eyes, but it was also just slightly patchy. Granted, that could have been because I'm having watery eye issues, but it was a little patchy on the eye that wasn't watering, so it may be a formula problem. The Joker's Jewel is a really pretty silver shade. It seemed to come off as a more topper shade than a full pigmented shimmer shade, but I actually like it for it being a topper because it's just really easy to tap across the lid and just have a shimmery effect. I didn't try some of the other ones, but like the more bronzy ones, I just wasn't happy with how they swatched, and I didn't think that they were gonna look as great on the eyes. So, and plus the looks I did didn't really cater towards that side, which is, you know, my bad. I probably should have tried a little bit harder to use every single shade, but I just wasn't happy with how this was performing. And Vixen and Gotham Glam is very, very disappointing. Vixen just was barely a color, and Gotham Glam is one of the worst blacks I have tried, and I really wanted to love this. Pouts and Pigtails is a little bit better in my opinion. I do like this one more than Toxic Love, and the standout shade in here, as you have heard me say, is the Pudding Pop. This blue shade is stunning. It is the best blue shade I've tried in a while. It is just so pretty. I will say most of the shades in here perform a lot better than Toxic Love. Haha Highlight is so good. I like Glitter Squad. It's just a really like light glittery shade, and sometimes you just really want that. So I'm happy with that. Some of the other shimmers didn't really swatch the best, but I do think that this one performed a lot better than Toxic Love. Overall, I will say I'm kind of just disappointed in these. I really wanted to love these because I do like Lottie London eyeshadows. I have a few of their palettes and they are phenomenal. So I don't know what the problem is with these. These are not worth the money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that. Everything else in the collection, good. These, just no. Anyways, I am grateful that Lottie London sent this to me because I love everything but the eyeshadow palettes, not including the blue shade in here. So yeah, that is my thoughts on this entire collection. Not the greatest review, but it's a review. I feel bad for doing kind of a negative review since this brand did send this to me, but I want to give you my honest thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on this collection. Let me know if you're interested in picking it up yourself, or if you just wanted to try one or two things from this line. Just let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know which look you like the most. I do apologize for the watery eye situation, but life is life, man, and sometimes you just gotta keep going on. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We are ever so close to October 1st, which means I am kicking off 31 days of Halloween. So if you're interested in a ton of Halloween themed videos, make sure you subscribe so you know when I put up my first October video, because it's gonna be a good month. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm artistryxashh everywhere, and if you want some book content, I am Ashley with 2 H's that reads on TikTok and Instagram. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Turn this life into something that you can never run. So fight and fight.